All right, Cheryl, all you.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, for anyone that, whether or not you have my workbook, this will be a good thing to reference in order to make sure that you're getting your expenses, you're doing your purchasing, you're getting all your numbers correctly and things like that. So that's what we're going to go over this morning. We're going to be specifically using my spreadsheet to do that. So if you have that, get it opened up, grab your receipts, and let's get going. So it is February 1st. We are going over Simplified Accounting Workbook, and I guess that's it. All right. Is everyone ready? Okay, so I'm going to start sharing my screen. On the first column. Okay, so try and get my screen set up so that I can see the chat, and there we go. All right. So everybody can see my screen, right? Everything's good, all good? Okay, so this is the purchasing tab. So this will give you your averages. So we're going to take, I'm just going to use what's in there, and I'm going to take a couple of my receipts here and enter those just so that you can kind of see what the difference is. So we're going to say on 125, we got 10 items, clothing, and we're going to keep it simple. And so if you notice, this green box up here has now changed, because according to this, I spent a higher amount on that purchase. So we have, here's another one on 128 for about 40 items, clothing, thrift. And I put in the vendor so that I can remember that, hey, I put in the clothing so that I can remember where I went, especially if I got a pretty good deal. Let me jump to a question.
Cheryl, what are you doing on that page? What are you trying to log?
I am logging the purchases of inventory so that you have your average cost of goods.
Okay, thank you. I'm listening more than I'm watching, so if you could just kind of say like what you're doing on the page would be awesome.
All righty.
Thank you.
So we have a question in the group regarding how to save from the Google Sheets, which I highly recommend that you use Excel instead. But and you can use Excel for free. And yes, John just put it in. It's file, make, copy. So you just file, and it says it actually somewhere right here on the first page. But if you click on file up top, and make a copy.
File, make copy. Okay.
Also, if you click the X, doesn't it ask you if you want to save automatically? And then you just click yes. That's what I've been doing.
If you click the X,
Yeah, and
Google Sheets.
oh, Google Sheet. I'm sorry.
Are you showing what's on your screen? Is that in Excel or is that, because I just took what you sent and I downloaded it, like I made a copy, but mine, I don't think it's, maybe I'm wrong.
Okay,
Shut
so
up
hang
before I-
on just a second. Right now, I am in Google Sheets because someone asked how to save the Google Sheets copy. So in order for them to get started, I wanted to make sure that they were able to save their Google Sheets copy.
Yeah, because what I brought down on you're on tab instructions and it says click and make a copy, don't enter. Okay, that's fine. So I guess my question is, is it possible for me to screw up the formula that you have? Is there something I need to not do?
Don't type in any of the colored boxes.
Yeah, mine aren't colored. I don't know why. I'm on the purchasing tab and there's nothing with color on the sheet I downloaded. I don't know.
This one box up here.
Okay, sorry. I know I'm being dumb.
Nope, you're fine. This is exact. Yes, it's being recorded. This is exactly why we're doing this, Beth, is because, and in fact, I probably need to keep track of some of the questions so that, because I would like to, after this is done, I'm going to try and put a fact together, something written, and then another video where it's just me talking and I can slowly walk everyone through how to do it. I want everybody to be
Maybe
very
that'd be
confident in what you're doing.
maybe that'd be a better question to type or better reason to maybe type the question in the chat rather than just ask it. And that way you can read it and you can go back through and you can kind of know what questions you answer.
That's actually a great idea, Landon, because I can save the chat before I
And I think that'll also kind of stop a lot of the rambling and speculating that kind of happens. Yeah, I mean, it's going to happen because we're all here like friends as well. But I think that'll kind of clear up both of that maybe.
well, at least it'll help me keep track of the questions. And there are no dumb questions, so please, please, please ask. I don't know that you don't know unless you ask me. I oftentimes make an assumption that you do know something that, and a lot of people don't know it. So, all right, so let's see. So Cindy changed, let's see, let me get back up here. How would you know a conversion of inventory cost style from doing cost? Conversion. Melissa, do you mind hopping on and explaining what you mean?
Sorry, I couldn't figure out how to explain that. So right now I'm doing inventory literally as each item. So I'm saying this item cost me 1 in 24, whatever, versus the style that you're doing.
Right. Okay.
like
So here's the
taxes and
thing
tracking.
with that. Here's the thing with that. You need to do the individual thing to learn your numbers, but it's not something that you're going to be doing long term. So it's best to go ahead and start at the same time calculating your averages. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Cindy said that she made a copy of the spreadsheet, the workbook that I sent, and change the name so that she knows which one is the original and which one is her copy. That way, if she ever has any issues, she can always go back to the original and get them fixed. Okay, Beth, are you using, are you using Excel or are you using Google Sheets?
I'm using Google Sheets. So I just hit download and like now it's letting me, I typed in the first line, 118, number of items, and it updated. And since it's downloaded, I can just go to the downloaded items and rename it, right? Like my little finder thing. I'm sorry. I'm not new to this stupid Google Sheets.
So if you want to keep it in Google Sheets, then all you do is file, make a copy.
Okay. I didn't, when I hit file, make a copy, I couldn't see that. That's why I'm being stupid, but I think it says simplified in my downloads. It's showing simplified accounting and I think I can rename it. I don't know if I can rename it. Yeah, I can rename it. I'm sorry. I'm so.
No, you're good.
archaic. Google Sheet.
Hey, Cheryl,
Uh-huh.
let me go ahead and enter this. Okay, there's my question.
Okay, then hang on. I'll get to you in
Okay,
just
sorry.
a minute, okay? Because
Sorry.
I'm further up.
Gotcha.
Beth, make sure you let me know that you got it and it's working.
Okay, yeah, I got it. What I downloaded it and then I went into my Finder, I found it and I renamed it and it seems to be working. So I'm gonna say that worked.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay, Heidi, are you good now? Do you have it and have it open?
Yes. Can you hear me? Am I on?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I have it open and it says read only so far and I haven't.
Okay, wait, are you in Excel?
I'm in Excel, yeah.
Okay, then you need to save it to your machine.
As what though? Should I change the title? How will I?
You don't have to. In fact, if you don't change the title, then you'll know which version you have.
Okay, and is this going to be, I haven't done my taxes yet. So I was going to kind of use this and sort of retroactively take my pile of receipts and kind of, go through the motions as it, and also
shoot
look
me
at
an
my
email. Shoot me an email and I will send you the 2021 version. This version is 2022.
Okay, that was my question. So do you use this to kind of retroactive to January 1st for myself for this year, and then taxes is separate sheet.
Taxes is separate. Taxes is separate. All we're doing right now is our January numbers with the 2022 sheet.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Sorry,
All right,
Echo.
so-
Shut up, birds.
All right, so what do we have next here? Let me sort of Beth click on carry over from last year. Corey, no, don't carry over inventory from last year into this sheet. We'll talk about inventory, and I've talked about it a lot in my calls. I just right now for this particular call, I want to make sure that everybody knows how to enter the stuff into the document. Mark, we do put supplies in the workbook, but not on the purchasing tab that I had started on. Courtney says inputting receipts and got out of order. Can I shift all down without messing up? Yeah, it doesn't matter. You don't have to put them in order and by date. So just put them in. It'll spit out the way it's supposed to. Marcus, which one? Because I sent you the Excel version and added you to the Google Sheets. So which one are you trying to use?
I'm using the Excel sheet, but
Perfect.
I never made a copy though. So like
You
all
don't
I
need
have
to,
is, okay,
just so long as it's saved on your machine.
it is.
Okay, good. All
Hey,
right.
Cheryl.
Paul.
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry. Let me add something on the last thing that we just talked about. On the free version of Excel, it automatically saves for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Because it's just like the free version of Excel and the Google Sheets both work the same way as they are in the cloud. They're not on your machine.
Yeah, yeah. And I downloaded the app, the Excel, and the what is it? The Microsoft app. So that's something else that's kind of useful, the OneDrive app.
Right.
And the reason that is useful is because it has your simplified accounting Excel spreadsheet in there, but also it has a button you can take pictures of your receipts and keep them in there.
Perfect.
So yeah, so in one app you have everything you need, and it's free.
Okay.
Anyway,
Just a second, Mark. Paul says on the expense tabs total under monthly sales input, it is total sales or net sales. That is your gross sales, but we're going to get to that in a few minutes.
okay, so it's total sales
Yeah, it's your gross.
on
Yeah.
on the tab.
Before anything is taken out.
Okay, all right. So all right. Okay, if you're gonna get to that, because I've been putting it in and it's got me a little bamboozled, a little confused. Because how does
Okay.
it know what your shipping cost is if it's your total sales?
Hold on. We'll
Okay,
get there.
all right.
Let me do. Okay. Kevin, you should have a version 6 if you're using Excel, but version 5 will be okay just to get through the questions, the know-how. Okay. John says we might want to let me get through the brass tacks of the presentation and then ask the questions. Thank you.
Hey, Cheryl, real quick. I'm
Okay.
sorry. You might want to drop your link to the in the chat just in case the people that's on the call right now doesn't have it yet, so they can get it and purchase it from you.
Okay. But you will have to, I won't be able to send it out while we're in the call, but I will.
Cheryl, do you want me to post this in the group that you're doing this, or is that going to make it drag on forever? Is this something you want to do with this group, or you want everyone to see it?
I mean, the idea was that it's being recorded so that anybody can watch it at any time.
Okay. All right. I was just wondering what you wanted to do.
And there's some changes coming to being able to get I'm hoping to have it done by the end of the week, because I didn't call tech and have them tell me no.
I just wanted to give you as much exposure as possible, but if you're going to record it, that's just as well.
Well, this one is going to get recorded. I am actually going to be switching over so that it will be a link that you can just go and purchase whenever you want to. I'm working on that this week. And then I'm going to take this call and bear through having to listen to myself in order to make a nice, concise version that everybody can use in the future.
Got it. Beautiful. So we'll let you do your presentation. Hold all questions to the end.
Thank you. Anybody that has bought this year and did not buy last year, if you send me an email, I will send you 2021 at no additional charge. So you can get your 2021 caught up and get your taxes done. Okay. Just shoot me an email. The email just got dropped in the chat. It's the same as my PayPal. It's definitely the worst listening to myself on video. I have not done it and I don't want to. But I will take one for the team. Okay, so we're getting kind of ahead on the questions, and I want to back up a little bit and go through the worksheet. And then if you still have questions, we will address those afterwards. Okay, great. All right, the purchasing tab. The purchasing is all about, I don't know where stuff went. Oh, I'm in the Google Sheets. I don't want to be there. I am using the Excel version of Simplified Accounting Workbook version 6, and I'm on the purchasing tab, and the purchasing tab is in order to help you. If you are not like tech, where you are, all your items cost the same price, then you need this page. If you are like tech and all your items cost you the same price, you still need to maintain a total of your incoming so that you can compare it to what you sold and what you have left over, because that will be your record for the IRS for maintaining an inventory. So whether or not you need the cost, an average cost for your inventory, you still need to keep record of the total amount purchased. And then we can use eBay for the total amount sold and the total amount left. So on the purchasing tab, the main points, the points that are the most important is the number of items that you purchased and the total cost of the purchase. So in this particular receipt, we're putting in 40 items were purchased and $52.95 was the amount. So you can see where the differences are and how much it was costing per piece. You can see the total cost of your inventory right here in column E at the top, and this green box at the very top is your average cost per piece. Does anyone have any questions on this page?
Hey, Cheryl.
Yes.
If say you're doing garage sailing or something like that, come garage sailing season, would you just put in there the amount of items you got, put in there garage sailing for the items bought, and then put just cash as a comment, maybe cash, see receipt or something like that? How would you do that?
I use a receipt book.
Right. Just for this inventory sheet, how would you document your?
I would do the same thing. If I bought clothing or hard goods or, jeans or whatever, I would, maybe maybe I don't really remember exactly, but I know what the numbers were. I bought 50 items at a yard sale on Rodeo Drive. And then just under vendor, I would put yard sale and then the total cost.
Cheryl, you asked if we had any questions on this page, so I think this is the appropriate place. One day last week, I bought things at Goodwill and I intended to pull out the items for personal use and pay for them separately, but I forgot. Should I just mark on the receipt, personal, subtract that, and then average it? Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand.
I'll pay it out of my regular, you know what I'm saying? I'll do a transfer on my bank account and label it for that.
Right. I mean, the official answer is just reduce write on the receipt, the reduced amount and the reduced number of items so that you can put the right amount in your spreadsheet and in your expenses.
Thank you.
I have a little
Well,
question.
you do not need to, you don't need to necessarily keep your items bunched from, it's just the easiest way to put them in. Does that? Okay. All right, who was talking?
I was talking. I have a question.
Yes.
So this page here, this is only for inventory or
This
everything
is
that we purchase? Like
no,
if I
this is
purchase a new, uh-huh.
just your inventory purchasing.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question. It's a good time.
Is it on this page?
It has to do with inventory in general. Aren't there two different methods for tracking your inventory? Like, seems like I just sort of started from zero at the beginning of every year and forgot about whatever didn't sell last year. That's behind me. That's how I've been doing it for taxes so far, kind of a loosey-goosey method, but it was easy.
Well, that's not loosey-goosey. That's your, you can, yes, there's two types. There's cash and there's accrual, and I've gone over both of those in the accounting calls.
Okay, which I have to listen to, and which does this?
You can ask me that
spreadsheet-
question again on Thursday for the next accounting call.
Yeah, but my question is, does this spreadsheet allow you to do either or just one? Is it set up for both or just one method?
This is set up for cash accrual. I mean, cash accounting.
Cash accounting, okay, which is not.
Which is what you've been doing.
Which is what I've been doing. So you start at the beginning of the year from zero.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, thanks.
We can cover that more on Thursday, though. So
I'll
make
do
a note
it.
of that question so we can talk about it on Thursday.
So we're accrual or, okay.
Cash versus accrual, which is maintaining an inventory or not, or expensing it.
So which one is this again?
Expensing inventory.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Okay. Next page. Mileage.
Cheryl, quick question, on the purchasing, does it carry over to your expenses? Do you have to enter that separately again?
You'll have to enter that separately.
Okay, thanks.
That's why I was saying you don't have to enter all those things. Just enter, make sure you enter the amount of items purchased and the total amount of the receipt. The other things are up to you.
Okay, so
You're
let's
gonna have them in your inventory. You're gonna have them in your expense section too.
okay. Yeah, so this tool is just for using for getting your average cost of goods.
Yes, sir.
Okay, awesome.
All right. Next tab is expenses mileage. So the first part of it is the mileage tab. Everybody's got a different way of saving their mileage. The way that I do it is, I know I go to the post office 6 days a week. So I automatically have that much put in. So that's what mine is. Mine is a 7-mile round trip. So I literally put that in, I type it in, and then I copy these boxes so this right now is set up for 5 days. So if you only go Monday through Friday, then you can do the same thing. But then I just copy that and do it all the way down the sheet so that at least the post office part is already done.
Got it.
If I, on Monday, say I went to one of my thrift stores that were further away, then I would just +7 plus however many miles that was. In my case, it would have been 62 one way, 62 back. And so now I've got 131 miles on there. Or you can put it in the calculator and say, okay, and it was 131 miles, and just type it in. I don't want to confuse anybody. So just use the calculator and type in the total. Marcus?
Can you
Stay
say
with me,
that
buddy.
again?
It's okay.
Can you repeat what you just said? I'm sorry. About typing and calculating it and typing it in. Can you repeat?
Okay,
that?
so we're
Sorry.
not gonna get into, we're just gonna keep it easy. Use your calculator, bring up your calculator, type in the number of miles that you drove for that day. So in my case, it would have been 62 there, 62 back, plus the post office. That's 131 miles. And then I typed in 131 on that day.
And you don't put anything else that you went other places?
You type that in.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Into the, see where it says post office? You just double click in there and you can type whatever you want to.
Got it. Thank you.
Yep. Are we good on the mileage part?
I have a question. I thought that if you were commuting from home, it didn't count somehow. Where did I get that from?
Because if you are commuting to a job, then you don't get to take that mileage. We're not, some of us have jobs. So if you are actually commuting to a job, and then once you get to the job, say you take a lunch and you run 10 miles down the street, you can take that 10 miles.
But not the whole commute, because
But not the whole commute.
So commuting to a job never is tax deductible, but anything outside of that, that it has to do with us getting our inventory for our business is separate. Okay, so if I work from home and I go to a thrift store every day, that's 10 miles away and come back, I can do 20 miles because.
Correct.
And I've been not doing that because I thought if I had home on my mileage app, I couldn't count it. So that's good to know. That's really good to know. Thanks.
Which is another reason why I don't use the mileage apps and pay the extra for them. I take my receipts. And then I have a little, I've written down a little cheat sheet with, and I'll use like Google Maps, and I'll say, okay, from my house to Goodwill in Landover is X number of miles, right? So I have my cheat sheet, and then I take my receipts and I say, okay, that one was this amount, that one was this amount, and I just add them together and poke them in for that day.
Okay, this is great. Thank you.
Okay.
I have a question. I have a warehouse. So do I not count the mileage from my house to my warehouse?
Yes.
But when I leave my warehouse to go thrifting, I start counting?
No. You count it from your house.
From my house to my warehouse?
This is a business. It's not a job.
Right.
Okay.
That's the difference.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Okay. Any more questions about mileage? Yep, I'm trying, Kevin. All right, so the next section is expenses. everyone that got this and everyone in the group has access to a Schedule C list that I put out. So I put it in the group under files, Schedule C categories, and I put it and I sent it with the spreadsheet. We can get into the different things that go into the categories in a regular accounting call. For the purposes of this call, I just want to make sure that you know what you're entering into the spreadsheet. Okay. So you put in your date, and in this box, there is a drop-down menu. So you pick one of the Schedule C categories. A lot of times we're going to have a lot of inventory purchases. So we made another inventory purchase, and Goodwill and $52.95. And then you can put over here, we know for this, it's inventory, right? But say we went to Staples and we bought some ink for the printer. So we choose supplies, which is consumables. I tried to put some notes in here. We went to Staples. We have our receipt, and it was $75. And over here, we're going to put printer ink. And what that's going to do is at the end of the year, when you send this section and the total to your accountant, your tax accountant, then they'll be able to make sure that you categorized your expenses correctly by doing the why or the what. For shipping, shipping is cost of goods, other costs. So anything that gets your item from you to the customer goes in cost of goods, other costs. Cost of goods sold, other costs. Okay. So that would be shipping. That would be your poly mailers. That would be your tape. Labels. Thank you stickers. Okay. Cost of goods, other costs. If you need it to get it from your house to your customer, it's cost of goods sold, other costs.
What
Which
about
is the
SKU
last thing in
stickers?
the box. Excuse me?
SKU stickers? You know, the numbered SKU stickers.
Yeah, I mean,
Office supply.
technically that, I mean, yeah, it's something, because if you don't, that's your inventory system. So yes, cost of goods sold, other costs.
Cheryl, I purchase all of my shipping supplies maybe once or twice a month. They would be a very large number. Would they go in the same column?
Sure, it would still be cost of goods sold, other costs. And then, you know, if you say you purchased it on Amazon and it was $5,000, or whoops, that's 50 grand. Let's not go that high. That might be tax bill. It's the amount doesn't matter. It's when you purchase it, put the receipt in.
Got it.
So you know, maybe you purchase all of your shipping supplies in January for the whole year. That's fine too. Same category.
About once a month, I get a lot of peanuts. I get a lot of boxes.
Okay.
You know, and other times I get other suppliers. I get other things from other suppliers.
Okay.
Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Manuel?
Yes, I have a question. It's about the mileage. here I see that you have like per day, like you're cramming everything per day, right? Like all your miles for one day. Like I
Yes.
see on row 13, you have post office, Goodwill, and Dodge restaurant. So, but I don't see like, you don't have like a start mileage and end mileage and all that.
Haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, okay, okay. Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Marcus?
Real quick, just so on the purchasing tab, we put in our inventory, whatever we paid, however many items we got. And then boom, we slide over to the expenses tab and then track it again. We're under
Yes.
inventory purchase. Okay, good deal.
Yes. Okay.
Wait a minute, purchasing. Oh. Oh. Sorry.
All right. Are we good? Corey, can you hold that call or that question for Thursday? Thank you. So again, in the expenses section, all of these are different expenses that you can take. Not all of them will apply to you and your business, but that's okay. You don't need all of them, but they're here if you do need them. Continuing education, that's where we put the fee that we pay for the group because it is deductible. All right. Are we, oh, and because it was asked for, if you slide to the right, then there is space to add 3 other vehicles if you have multiple vehicles that you use for your business. Okay, so you got your main vehicle over here on the left. And then there's 3 more. You can have up to 4 vehicles. I don't recommend it, but if you need them, you can have them.
Why is that important? Like if I use my car and sometimes my husband drives, why is that important? Should I save that for Thursday?
Well, I'll address that right quick. So you have to, you put a vehicle in service on your tax form. So you have to be able to track the mileage for each vehicle that is in service for your business. So you have to have the beginning mileage, the ending mileage, and all the individual or all your business miles for each vehicle that you use for your business. That's actually why. So Denise put it in the chat. Thank you. So she's calling herself out that she's the one that has, they have 3 different vehicles. She just gets in whatever one is at the end of the driveway.
Okay, so I just totaled my car. I haven't gotten a new one yet. So when I get my new one, I start over, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And having a mileage app doesn't save you from writing down your starting and ending miles?
You still need your starting and ending miles.
Like for the beginning of the year or for every trip you make?
Oh, no, just even with mine, even with my scenario with the workbook, you only need your actual odometer reading on the first day of the year or the first day it goes in service and the last day of the year.
Okay, and where do we get the workbook? Dumb question.
The workbook? The one we're going over?
Oh, that's the workbook. Sorry. I don't know what you call it.
Yes,
I call it a spreadsheet. I thought it was something else. Sorry.
okay, so an individual tab is a spreadsheet. The collection of the tabs is a workbook.
Thank you.
Yep. So Corey, so this tab is for the entire year. Just keep getting it. It's infinite. It will go on forever. You will not run out of lines.
Cheryl, what does a computer go under? And what about your spreadsheet?
So a computer would go under office expense or depreciation, depending on how much you paid for it. If it's under $10,000, just expense it under office expense. My spreadsheet would go legal and professional services.
Thank you.
Yep. Robert says, my wife sometimes is the one shopping, sourcing for me, so I have to track her mileage when she does that. Yes, sir. Because you are husband and wife, you don't need to do 2 different Schedule Cs and only one name needs to be on it. So just track the mileage for both vehicles that gets used. You're essentially partners if you're working together, but just doesn't have to be run as a partnership because you're married. It's inherent. All right, we're good with expenses. Not the individual what goes in there, but on how to enter them. We're good with how to enter expenses.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, birds. I have one quick question. Did you say where to enter the start mileage for the year for each
I haven't
car?
got there yet.
Okay, good. Okay.
Okay. The next tab is expense totals. And since it's been asked several times, we're going to go ahead and look at column N and O. And I have right there at the top, it says enter beginning mileage, beg miles, but that's what it's supposed to be for. Enter beginning miles. Click in the box and type your number. That's what it was for January. When we get to December 31st, I'll send out a message in the group and I'll say, hey, go grab your screenshot. Or January 1st, I'll say, go grab your screenshot of your miles. A photo is what I usually do. I take a picture. If for some reason you've forgotten, hang on just a second, Robert. If for some reason you've forgotten, then things like oil changes can help you get closer. Any kind of vehicle service can usually help you get closer to what the miles were at a period of time. And then you can kind of go from there. So just like I had the 4 different sections to track your mileage, there's 4 different sections to put your beginning and ending miles in. They're all in that column. There's vehicle 1 up here, vehicle 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Reference only. Here is where you can type in Goodwill, 50 miles, 2nd Avenue, 62, Thrift, 5, post office, 7, whatever it is for you, you can use this little section right here to type it in for you if you want to have it all in one place in the spreadsheet to reference. Okay. Whether you use it or not is up to you.
Quick question, slightly off topic. If I drive to my mother's house that's 100 miles away every other weekend, and I don't do my thrift store shopping until the next day, then I can't write off the trip up there. I can only
That's
write off
not
from her
true.
house, right?
That's not true.
No, I can write it off. Like when you're doing business travel, but you buy something when you're on your trip, can you write off the whole trip?
You can write off all the mileage.
Or the cost of the airplane or whatever, you know, in this case, you know what I'm saying? The cost of getting there, if you're going to do some business once you're there.
If you were doing business once you're there, you can write off the cost of the airplane tickets, the cost of the bus, the train tickets, or the mileage.
Okay, so the trip up
How
there.
much you do there versus how much personal is a different animal that I've talked about in the calls.
But for mileage purposes, it's a commute to my business. Got it.
It's you can deduct that part of the expense.
All right, cool.
You are going to point B for whatever period of time to conduct business.
Okay, great, good.
So Robert, I got you, right? You caught that? All the vehicles? Okay. Marcus, question?
I actually meant to put my hand down. I think it's a Thursday thing. So what do I do about the total mileage that I've already accrued with my previous car and the rental car since I'm going to get a new car? Does none of that even count anymore? If that's a Thursday question, we can get to that Thursday.
So just use the 3 different sections.
For the 3 different cars?
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't kept
Yeah,
beginning mileage on any of them.
Did you have that accident? Was that this year?
This was just a couple weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago.
Okay. So then, yeah, just like use one of the ones to the right for your rental and your car that is deceased. and then use one of the lower ones for those 2 cars. Well,
see, I never kept
you're not gonna do the rental car. You're not gonna do the rental car.
I never kept beginning mileage for my old car though, so I don't know technically how much I had when I started the year off.
Last year
when I got the car, I had like 100-something thousand miles on there, and then I put, I don't know, I didn't keep, because I didn't know that I was supposed to keep these types of records. So I'm not prepared for it. I just know how many miles I've used since getting your program.
Do you have insurance on that car, or somebody paying for your total loss? Claim adjuster here.
The insurance
Yes.
company is
Okay, on the total loss, on the total loss valuation, it'll show miles date of loss because they use that to determine the actual cash value.
Yeah, I seen that on there.
Yeah, so that's your ending miles. It's dead, died on that miles day.
Okay.
So
If you bought
you'll
the car
have
from a
this year,
dealership-
you're gonna have to reverse engineer what you did last year.
Yeah, I seen what Tech said.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, he's got that. And then Linda, no, because we're doing mileage. So you can pay for gas out of your business account, but you're not gonna record it anywhere. Paul, did you have something else?
Yeah, I was hoping this is where you're gonna go over the gross amount and how it knows where, yeah.
I'm getting
where
there.
the shipping costs, okay.
So first off, we did all the putting in the expenses from this expense mileage page. So when you get over to the expense total page, over here on the left-hand side in these blue boxes, if you click inside there, if you right-click inside, then scroll down to refresh, right-click, refresh, and it totals all the categories for you.
Can you do that again and show me exactly where you have your clicker
Sure.
what cell you're in?
Sure. So I'm over top of where it currently says inventory purchases, but I mean, anywhere over here, like click on row label, right click, see where it says refresh?
Yep. Click it.
And then it will have all your totals for all the different categories all right there together.
Okay. And I haven't entered anything, so it just says 100 because that's what the default is, right? Okay.
Right.
Okay. Cool. Nice.
Alyssa, I hope I pronounced that right. You take mileage, you don't take gas, which is what I said, but you can pay for gas out of your business account. That doesn't stop you from paying for gas. You just don't record it. It's generally, you will get a whole lot more if you take the mileage versus tires, oil changes, and all the rest of that stuff. I've talked about that excessively in the accounting calls.
How do I
Biani,
remove something from my
it will be
total?
available as a recording, and I'm going to do another recording that will kind of help bring it all together in a faster way.
Is there a way to remove something from my total? Like I was tracking gas and you said not to, so how do I remove
Just
an item
delete it.
from this? And it'll just automatically delete it from the total?
Yep. When you refresh it. All right, so revenue. The number tracking page will automatically fill out eBay Store 1 if you're using the number tracking page. You don't have to, you can just type it in. So if you just type it in, then you know it's your gross number. And we are going to fill some of this stuff out. If you have something other than one eBay store, you have Macari, you have Poshmark, you have Depop, you have
Facebook Marketplace.
Facebook Marketplace. Oh my goodness.
I don't know. I don't do it, but what if you sell your stuff at a yard sale, your bad buys? You can't count that?
Yeah, you're supposed to.
Good deal. So fun.
And remember that's selling local, so you're going to be paying tax out of that.
You mean state tax?
You're going to be paying sales tax out of that.
Oh, yeah. Here you go. Lost, donated. Okay.
So this sheet for anyone that that has other businesses, if you're a sole proprietor, you can put all of your businesses under one heading. Like I'm Miller Services. All of my businesses are under Miller Services. So eBay and my workbook and my accounting and consulting, everything is under Miller Services. So whatever I do, each section gets its own gross number box section, right? Same for you. If you've got other things and it's all under one header, then you can just put them all here and use this one spreadsheet for all of your stuff.
But that wouldn't be like if you have a real estate where you have rental properties. That's entirely different, right?
Are you a sole prop?
Yeah, you're not going to have two Schedule Cs. Is that what you're saying?
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
Can you have two Schedule Cs, or that's just confusing to the IRS?
You can have two Schedule Cs, but then you've got to figure out how to split up all your expenses.
Okay.
I just find it easier from an accounting standpoint to put them all together.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Cheryl, quick question. When I click on the expense total tab, I see the spreadsheet that you have on the screen right now with my eBay store and my revenue. And it seems confusing to me that it says it's the expense totals, but it's also revenue.
So you see this? You see this green box down here at the bottom?
Let me check. Yes.
That is your
net
summary.
No, that is your snapshot is the word I was looking for. That is your snapshot at any given time. Whenever you enter your numbers, this little green box tells you exactly where you are in your business.
Okay. So I'm in the right tab. It's expense totals includes the revenue, yellow boxes up above, right? We're all pressing the same tab, right? Expense totals.
Yes.
Okay, it just confused me. Expense and revenue, they don't seem to be the same thing. I'm sorry. Thank you. Just want to make sure I didn't have a messed up spreadsheet. Okay.
I think what you're asking is what is the title of revenue for? And the title of revenue for is whatever, like Depop. So it's not like, it's just, right?
Well, I'm just confused about the tab name because
Okay, I'm gonna change the tab name. And if you want it, you can just type in the tab and change it for yourself.
What would you call it?
Snapshot of business.
Okay, just rename it to business snapshot.
Whatever makes the most sense to you.
Okay, thanks.
All right, so when you have your totals in, and I'm just going to use this box right here for January, and say we made $5,000 in January, you'll see that the gross total pops up. It will all 6 of these boxes will get added together in this first space. All your expenses will come together in this second space. Your mileage gets taken out here and your net gets taken out there. So if we were at the place right now where everybody was following along and putting in all of their purchasing and all of their expenses and all of their mileage for the whole month of January, then we would right now be able to see your total expenses and your total mileage, and we would have a negative net at this point. This is what we would see, is a negative net. The next thing we're going to do is start putting in the revenue. So if you have other businesses, you just type in whatever that revenue is. So say you did 200 in Macari and 8,500 in Poshmark, and I don't know, 1,100 in Depop. We're going to put in the eBay in a minute. But then you will see that you have a net positive number. At the end of March, after 1st of April, when you go back and do this, you'll know exactly where you are tax-wise for the first quarter. You'll have a really good idea of whether or not you need to pay quarterly taxes. And that's not the number you would pay the quarterly taxes on. There's other things to think about, but you could just pay it on that and then figure out the difference at the end of the year. But my point is, you will have, every time you fill in this sheet, you will have a snapshot of exactly where you stand, whether you're in the negative, whether you're in the positive, and how far you are in either one. Okay. All right. So number tracking.
Wow.
I'm going to make a little bit of change to this, but this first line up here is your average cost of goods. So that comes back from your purchasing, the purchasing tab that we started on. You actually need to type in whatever yours is in these boxes up here. Renee, it's very different for each and everybody. So if you take into account the other things that you have, so first off, Renee asked, how do you determine if you need to pay quarterly taxes? Is there a dollar amount to reference? So no, there is not, because everybody's individually is everybody's taxes is individually different. So you kind of need to know what you're, that would be something that you would reach out, if you're not doing your own taxes, that would be something you would reach out to your tax accountant for. Yes, Paul, sorry.
Okay.
Robert, can I say something? Okay, so average cost of goods that we got from the first page, we're going to put that in row 2 across the top. I will be sending out a version 7 here before too long. I'm going to make a few changes, and I'm going to try and make the average cost of goods part a little bit easier. But whatever you figured your average cost of goods is from that first tab that we went over, that's what number you'll put in here. And this is based on week. So if you make a bunch of purchases at the beginning of the month and you don't make any more purchases, then it's going to be the same for each week of the month. I'll make one, Paul.
I thought you made one. Didn't you tell me you made one? Remember?
Oh, didn't I make one?
Yeah, you sent me a message, said, woohoo, I finally did it.
Okay, well
You
then
said
I
you put
already
it on
have one.
Facebook. I was trying to set you up.
I can't remember what day it is. It's my youngest daughter's birthday. So anyway, average cost of goods across the top. Line 3. This is the number of, so right now we're working on the week section. So that's the number of days that is in. So for the first, that was only 2 days because we're only working with 2022. So that was just 2 days. Everything else for this top section is for a full week until you get to the end of the year. How you get your numbers, I put the link right above it. I put the link again right above it. So we're going to go over that right now. And we're going to use my numbers. So here's what I want you to do. So if you were doing for the week, you would come down to custom and you would put in Monday through Sunday. That's just how I have it ran. and you would generate report. There's your total sales. There's your total selling costs and your total net sales. Those are, and your quantity sold. Those are the 4 numbers off of this sheet that you would need to enter into these boxes. You're going to have to keep track of how many items that you listed that week. So for this one, I keep a notebook in front of me that, you know, says that I list, we're going to go with 10 a day. We're just going to say that I listed 10 a day for that week, right? And then we come back over here and I had 44 sold. So I would type in 44. And then the next number is for sales. So there's the total sales, 1,013.69. 1,013.69. eBay net, that's this number over here in the kind of light blue box, 681.54. If you use anything like Pirate Ship or one of the other places to do your shipping, you're going to have to keep track of that from their website and enter that number.
So like if you pay for your shipping on your credit card through PayPal, you have to track that separate.
Yes. And then that would be where you would put, well, wait, are you buying it from eBay?
Yes, I'm buying it from eBay, but I'm putting it on my credit card.
That's okay. It's
Okay.
still in there.
Yay.
That's still part of this selling cost number. Okay.
Good news.
Yep. But if you go to Pirate Ship or one of the other ones, then you're definitely going to have to add, like I personally ship all of my overseas stuff through Pirate Ship. So I have to add that in separately. The point
Even
of, huh?
Even if you have eBay linked to Pirate Ship, you still track that?
You'd still have to track it separately because Pirate Ship is the one receiving the number. They don't have, eBay only gets the tracking portion. The purpose, the purpose of the week section is just to keep you focused, that making sure that you're doing things right. It's kind of like the accountability sheet that Chris has. It's your personal accountability to make sure that, you know, hey, I hit my goal for my listing. I'm doing pretty good for my sales. My sales are where I want them to be, or the number sold is where I want it to be. Then you can see, because you put in your correct cost of goods up here, you can see, well, this is what the inventory that I sold this week probably cost me. So here's my net. Here's my average sale price. That gives me my average net based on all my fees. I listed 10 a day. I sold 6 a day. Here's my profit margin. Here's my ROI. I didn't have any returns this week, and I had a total listings of 1256. So I've got approximately a 4% sell-through.
Are you going to talk about returns and how we do that?
Sure.
Complicated, or is it simple? Like I had a return yesterday. I know how much I sent back to the person and eBay adjusted the fees. So do I just subtract the amount I sent back to the person? 1503.
Okay, so returns, I put that in my expenses once a month.
Okay.
Is
I'll
on
show
a
you
drop
that in
down.
a minute. And I think what I'll do is I'll make a list of, links.
Okay. Because if you offer free returns, then that is an expense. You're right. Plus, it makes a difference because I don't know. Yeah, I'll shut up. I will not think out loud.
Yeah, because you're messing me up.
Okay. I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys where the return stuff is. This call is getting kind of long, so I think I'll do that on Thursday.
Cool.
Because it's just one entry in the expenses part that we've already gone over. Once you get into a habit of doing this weekly, then doing the monthly part is going to be a breeze. It's the same thing. You just do it for the month, and you literally on the first of the month, you're going to come up here. You're going to put last month, generate report. And there you go. There's all your numbers for January or wherever we are in the year. Now, this question was asked. So we've got total sales. At the top section, we've got your total sales. We are in performance sales on eBay. So we've got total sales. We've got how much selling costs there were. We've got the net sales. We've got the total quantity sold. All those numbers go into the spreadsheet. If you scroll down, the first place where the chart is shows shipping and handling. This is how much was paid by the customer for shipping. So this first section next to the chart is how much was paid for shipping. The section right below it, selling costs, is how much you paid for shipping. So if you are charging for shipping, you can use the section at the bottom of this page that shows right below the month that shows the buyer paid $1263.74, but I paid $883.81. So in the month of January, I made bank on shipping. So if you are paying for shipping, then this is a good place to see if you can, maybe you're making, really good money on shipping. Maybe you can take the chance and adjust your shipping down. Maybe that'll help you get more sales. Maybe you're just being really aggressive with your offers, or you're taking that into consideration when you're making your offers, and the shipping just really is part of your purchase price. But either way, don't return it. They agreed to buy it at that amount, so keep it.
Okay, Cheryl, question on this exact thing. Okay, so is that for our information, or does that go back to our other tab, I guess, expense totals? And does that plug the number in? Because I'm still trying to does that go back into the green box under expense totals to reduce our net? Because if I'm putting the gross amount for the month in there, okay, and then my expenses of $1435 come from expense mileage, or it come from purchasing, and then my mileage comes from mileage.
Okay. I think I got you. So we're gonna go back over here and we're gonna look at the performance sales tab, selling costs. This number, and I made a note because I that needs to be high on the list of how to do this. You're gonna take this whole number right here under selling costs.
Yeah.
And you're gonna put it in your expenses. So
Ah.
131 cost of 131 drop down, cost of goods, other costs, eBay, and it was 153442, 153442. There's your, keep it totally simple. All of your eBay fees, one time, one line. We don't need to break it out into individual parts. If you want to see it in broke out, then just go back to eBay and look at it broke out.
Okay, so that updates the expense totals box to bring your net to an accurate number.
Yep.
So-
So if I
so-
come back over here and I refresh, then my cost of goods, other costs has gone up. And my expense totals down here in the green box has gone up. Okay,
Gotcha. Yeah, so you don't pay taxes on your eBay fees and your shipping.
correct.
Bingo. Thank you.
Let me put in under number tracking. Let me do the month right quick. That way you guys can see how that worked out. So we've got the month up here, 393277, 393277. All right, so I put in the total. If we come back over here, what?
Put it under listed.
Oh. Okay, so thank you. If we put in the total in the right place, 393277. So there's the total sales. Come back to snapshot. Now you see that if you do the monthly section, your total will go in, your total sales will go automatically move over to this box. Paul, that's what you were talking about earlier, right?
Hey, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that real quick? I hate to have to do that.
When you do the monthly section
Uh-huh.
of the number tracking page
Yes.
and you get your sales entered in,
Yes.
it automatically comes over here to eBay Store 1.
Mine does not do that.
Okay,
Because I tried it before and then I tried it again before I asked the question.
okay. I will make sure, well, it will be working when I send out the new version.
Okay. Thank you.
When you send out the new version, is there an easy way to update it without transferring all your numbers, or do you transfer all your numbers manually?
You can copy and paste them.
Thank you.
John?
For those of us offering free shipping, we need to add another tab because normally I'm losing money on shipping versus gaining money on shipping. I mean, a few of them I might be making money on some different items, but is that a correct statement or does that go in a similar place?
It will still be right here in your selling costs,
Right.
and you still put that total number over here in expenses.
Right.
So you're still taking out your total shipping.
Right. But on the number tracking sheets, what I'm referring to, because you had how much eBay
That's
paid.
only if you are offering, or if they are paying for shipping. It's just to help you see if they are paying for shipping, if you're making money on it.
Okay, so it's
breaking
only for
even.
the making money aspect on shipping. Gotcha. Thank you.
Yep. Okay, so those are the important tabs in this workbook. Does anyone have any questions on these tabs?
My question would be if we work on it and we have questions, just on the Thursday calls, can ask questions there. Or
If you have questions regarding the workbook specifically, that did not get answered today, then please shoot me an email.
okay. All right. And the one question I have is like, how do you blend? I don't know. How do you merge the other stores? Like I have a little bit of Poshmark and I have a little bit of Mercari, not anything they're going to send me a W-9 on, but just like odds and ends. So how that last sheet that you went to that looked like, I don't know, the summary one, how do you add that in there?
Okay, am I on the screen you're talking about?
No, the one that you just clicked on, the one that had all kind of greens, that one.
Okay, don't worry about Poshmark. This page is only for eBay.
Got it. Okay, so the
If
other
you
one that
don't-
has the multiple stores, that's going to give me the important numbers that I need for my Schedule C.
Right.
Got it.
This page just puts your totals in for, and you can change where it says revenue to. You can type Mercari.
And then that'll go down into the gross total green box down below.
Yep.
That's okay. Thank you.
So you can change the names at the top.
Got it.
The number tracking is just for one store for eBay. If you have multiple eBays, you can copy this whole page.
Yeah. Okay.
You would right click the tab,
Yeah.
copy, create a copy, and then you can click right where you want to put it. So number tracking, just put it in before that, and then there's two of them now.
Okay. Thank you.
Marcus?
Okay, so for the return section and the total listings, I haven't been putting my total number of listings that I have left at the end of the week at all, and I haven't been keeping track of my returns. So how do I start doing that moving forward?
Your total listings, just start putting them in. I mean, that number is what is in my store when I get up Monday morning and I come and I look at my eBay. That's the number that I see before I've done anything else to the store.
How do I track returns from here on out?
I'm going to go over returns on Thursday's call because it's a little more in depth. Corey said about the shipping part. Yes, that's just for reference to see if there's a profit or loss, not official accounting stuff. Correct.
Remind me, what time is the accounting call? Is it 2 p.m. on Eastern time or something?
1 p.m. Eastern time.
Thank you.
Cheryl, are you going to go over the part underneath what you just went over on the eBay shipping where it says sold, sales, and then you've got a link?
Okay, so if you are not doing promoted listings the same thing across the board, say you are doing suggested, for
Right.
example, then what this does is help you figure out what your average, I mean, it's the solds, the sales, and the average rate and your ad fees. All the information is actually right there. So you don't really need to do that part.
How do you use it? Have you used it? Does it help you increase your profit margin or what?
I was doing it. I was using it because of how I was doing my promoted listings. But then I went back to 10% promoted across the board. And so I quit using that. But a lot of times what happens is I'll do something for myself that I want to look at and I want to track. And when I do that, I figure, well, if I want to do it, maybe somebody else wants to do it too. So I add it to the workbook. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean you necessarily need to use it.
Yeah, I'll play around with it and see if I like it. Another question along those lines of the selling cost. Is there a way, or really do you see a need for putting in some place to put in your total selling cost, just so that you either don't forget about it or make sure that it goes in there, or put it on the numbers tracking page?
Okay, so I will do a process.
Or like making another column somewhere so you have to kind of look at it, because I could see myself easily not putting that number in.
So what I will do is I will just do a step-by-step paper that says start here, 1, 2, 3, you know, and I will make sure that as you go through each tab that you grab all the right information and where it goes.
That's great. That would be great.
Okay.
Cheryl, after you send out the 2021 spreadsheet for everyone, or for anyone who asks for it specifically, I want one, please. Can I still go back into eBay and granularly, that's not a right word, you know, go do the same thing where I put in the weeks individually? Or should I just do like a month version of it for entering everything if I want to go back and recreate last year?
I mean, that detail was not available that way in the 2021 version.
Okay.
It was available, but it was like linear. So it was the weeks, and then there was the month, and so I mean you could, but it's a waste of time. Just list.
What? Well, I know, but I still have to do my taxes. So if
you don't need that to do your taxes. That's my point.
Okay, so don't waste time doing that. But for this, it's nice to have that breakdown, you know, week by week. Like you said, it keeps you focused.
For this year, yes.
Yeah.
It's not going to help you for anything in the past.
Got it.
So,
okay.
So if you haven't done it yet, do it for January. So you have your snapshot for January. Don't worry about the individual weeks. Right?
Right. Okay. But starting in February, I start doing my weeks.
Yeah, starting in February, you can do your weeks. If you've done all your listings and everything else is caught up and there's nothing more that you have to do and you've got a few minutes, then go back and grab the first 4 weeks of January so that everything's there, if that's what you want to do. But
cool.
Okay.
Thanks.
So I do have 4 other tabs in here that the people that have bought it from me personally through emailing and PayPal will get. After I update, they won't be available as part of the workbook in the link that's going to come out, but I just want to hit them really quick since you guys have them. This was simply a way to kind of see where you would be if you followed a plan, whatever your plan is for the year, right? So in this scenario, profit per item goal is $10. My goal to get to for daily listings was 35, and I started with 8 on January 1st. So it just shows that if I complete 11 in 5 days, 11 a day in 5 days, then I will have met my goal and I don't have to work the weekend. If I actually did 20, then I'm getting to add numbers to my draft bank. It's not important. If you don't understand it, don't worry about it. It's just kind of one of those things that I was playing with, and I thought if anybody else wanted to play with it, they could play with it. But all you need to do is change this to whatever your goal is, and it automatically updates on the left-hand side. The next section is just time block. It's based on all the calls that we've had with Chris talking about schedules. So if you want to use this to put in your schedule, it's literally just a day, and you can take and delete all this stuff out and type in whatever you want to. This is straight from what Chris has done with how many does it take, how many items per hour, how many hours are you doing it, the total hours you're spending a week. So it's just a schedule, and it's just a way to kind of figure that out. If you are good with figuring that out this way, then go for it. Matt says he liked this. But again, you're better off if you don't get it, don't worry about it. Just ignore it and just list more, because that's what's important. This
On that
page,
idea,
huh?
question before you move on.
Okay.
On the input hours, sourcing, prep, laundry, is that for the amount per week? So if I source all day, one day, and it's 8 hours, and I put the 8 hours plus whatever prep and laundry is?
So this is based on doing time studies.
Right, but do I put the weekly amount there? Or do I put per item there?
Yeah, it's weekly because your total hours are coming up. So
okay.
if I spend 7 hours a week sourcing, or 2.5 hours a week on customer service and admin stuff.
Awesome. Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then it's got your profit per listing goal, listing goals per week. And then these numbers are calculated. Anything that is highlighted is a calculation. I will accept until you get to this page. Then this is a cheat sheet for sales or coupons. And you put in, I don't remember what, I think text is 88. So if you change this to 88, then all of it's going to change all the prices. If your coupon or your sale, it'll work for either one, is 90%. And that means 10% off. Then and you're sending offers at 80 and you auto accept, so you can change this and it will automatically calculate the rest of the fields. Okay.
Thank you for that. That's really handy.
I print this off. I print that page off and I keep it in front of me when I'm listing, because I use auto accept, and I use this column to tell me what number I need to put in, so I don't have to think about it. I also use it if I receive offers or things like that, but yeah, generally by putting that into auto accept, it's all good. And then this last one is just helping you with your, oh, hang on. Column B. Yes, column B is the asking price. Then this last one is just your bills. If you needed a way to track your bills for the year, what bank account you pay it out of, whether it's on auto pay or not, what day of the month, like 1 through 31, the name of the bill and how much it was. If you fill all this out, it will come up over here, like your total yearly bills, and then it'll average it, divided by 12 for per month, and then it will divide it by 52 for per week. It'll tell you how many sales numbers you need. It will divide it. So I've got it in here for a $10 average sale, and then for the week, and then per day. And then the first goal is bills times 2. So it's making double. So that's just, and your actual yearly profit margin comes from your number tracking page for the monthly. So when you fill out your monthly, this number here, whatever your actual monthly margin, profit margin is, will come over here, and it will calculate based on what your actual margin is. So again, use it if you need to use it. If you don't need to use it, it was just more of an added bonus type thing that I wanted, to just share. This is what I use to track my bills every month for going on 3 years now. Way to save turn. Yeah. You'll just be able to copy and paste, Courtney, the numbers from January over to the new book, and I should have it out by the end of the week. And then it won't be that much to add to the new book, and then that will most likely be the last update for the year.
Cheryl, when I, instead of copy and pasting, when I did the Excel, what I did was I just somehow you can like upload a file from your desktop Excel, and I did that. I YouTubed it. I'll have to do it a couple more times to be able to tell you how to do it, but just YouTube it and it'll show you how to do it. So I didn't have to copy and paste. So I just did it that way.
Okay, that's a new one. If you've got the YouTube, shoot me the link so that I can watch that. And
all right, I'll go back through my history and see if I can find it.
okay. All right, guys. This was a lot longer and not exactly what I had in mind, but hopefully it'll give everybody something to go with for now. And it will definitely give me something to use to create a better, tutorial video and FAQ for you guys for the future. I do want to save the chat right quick. Tech just put in there the my 9:30 call. If you have not listened to the 9:30 call, click that link, go listen to it. Listen to it a few times. It's got all the basics in there. There's a lot of questions that were asked today that are covered in that video. You don't have to watch it, just listen. You guys are welcome. I am glad that I can be of service.
I really like it, Cheryl. I like the one little thing I like on it, on the numbers tracking page, it shows your monthly sell-through rate. You know, that's cool.
I'm glad you're getting stuff out of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep going through it. You showed me about 3 or 4 other things that I might be interested in using. So let's see.
Okay. Again, I'm going to go over, I'm going to go over the workbook again. I am going to put it on Gumroad. Chris helped me. He showed me the platform to use. So that's the platform I'm going to put it on. So in the future, it'll just be a link and you'll be able to go, whoever doesn't have it will be able to go buy it and just get it automatically sent to them. But Google Sheets will not be available anymore after that.
Meaning that we have to download the Excel and use it on Excel.
Well, you don't. You have Google Sheets if that's what you want to use. But yes, going forward, it will. I mean, because Excel is available for free,
right,
online, and it is a much better program.
Can you store the Excel like in the cloud so you can access it anywhere?
If you're using the free version, it saves in the Dropbox, in the OneDrive.
Yeah, it automatically does it, Beth.
OneDrive I have a Mac. Is OneDrive Mac?
It's like Chrome. It's not Mac or PC.
Okay, all right, got
It's
it.
a
Sorry,
cloud,
we had OneDrive at my office. We had PCs, and this Mac is like a whole new deal. So sorry.
It would be for me too. I have no clue.
I'm going to be 60 this week, so I'm trying to stay young. What can I
You're a
say?
young lady.
Trying.
All right.
Thank you so much, Cheryl.
You're welcome. Again, I'm here. I am spending less time in Facebook. I would appreciate if there are any questions that you shoot them to me in an email. And what I will do is like compile questions and answers and get the answers back to everybody.
Great.
All right. Perfect. My list is done for today. Ha.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks, guys. I'm going to end the live. Oh, let me stop share.